blockade, French farmers around Paris, as you would imagine, over falling incomes and competition from cheap imports.
Yeah, we've also got these live pictures from Brussels, where we're seeing farmers descend on it looks like a town square. Fires have been set there in that town square, and lots of tractors piling in on there as well. Experts fear it could impact Britain's food supply as agriculture workers across Europe also join the fight against Macron's government.
So, should we be concerned by the demonstrations? Let's talk to Welsh farmer Gareth Wyn Jones and political commentator Jack Rowlett. Good to see you both this morning. OK, Gareth, let's kick off with you, a man in the know. Is it going to impact us over here? And what are you left feeling like? Are British farmers not out on the streets? Perhaps you should be.
Look, we're fed up. We're fed up to the back teeth of what's going on, to be totally honest with you. Look what's happened in Germany, Netherlands, Canada. It's a global problem. This is something that, has been rumbling for a long time. And don't forget, farmers are the last people to go out and protest because they've got land to watch after, they've got crops, they've got animals. The last thing they want to do is go out and protest. And to see the numbers of farmers in Europe out protesting really shows you there's something radically wrong globally. And I mean this is not something... There is ripples over in the UK. There is talks now and Chinese whispers about what are we going to do, because, our country here in Wales has devolved with agriculture. 10%, our Welsh government wants to plant 10% of our land. We're losing a lot of top quality land to solar panels, to building. All these things are taking away our food security in the UK. Red tape, so much bureaucracy within our industry. And something else that we're fed up of is that mainstream media just keep kicking us in the gonads all the time. They keep blaming agriculture and livestock especially for this so-called climate crisis. And when we're part of the solution, we have a temperate climate in this country. We can grow grass. We can turn that into top quality protein, milk, cheese, yogurts. We are part of the solution. And you know what? The general public are behind a lot of these farmers' protests. So I think government in the UK need to listen and be very, very careful with the way that they treat the people that are producing the food to feed them.
OK, Gareth, well, let's bring in Jack at this point. Jack, you heard Gareth describing that farmers are the last people to go out and protest. Some of the hardest working people in our society. So there is clearly something very seriously wrong here.
Well, look, essentially what these farmers in Europe are demanding are special protections that don't apply to everybody else. They're complaining about imports from other countries pushing down the cost of agricultural goods in Europe. Now, when we introduce protectionist measures like those that they're demanding, costs go up for consumers, and it's poorest families who are hit the hardest. What is really important is that we keep free trade open, we keep routes for food open from all over the world, and we do what we have done for coming up to 2 centuries now, and buy a mixture of domestically and from abroad. Any group can say that they want special protections, but you can't apply special protections to every group, because then costs go up, and that hits poorest families the hardest. In Britain, we haven't been food independent for the best part of 2 centuries now, and we haven't had a famine or major food crisis in that time, and that should really tell you something. And looking at Europe, there are regulations on kind of technologies, new technologies like genetic engineering and AI, which can really improve farming and enable European farmers to compete better. Well, they're out-regulating those things, they're banning those things, they're over-regulating them. And then their response to this is rather than enabling the agricultural sector in Europe to compete better by embracing those modern technologies, well, it looks like Emmanuel Macron is going to veto a trade deal with South America in the coming weeks in response to these agricultural protests. And that's just more protectionist, pushes prices up for consumers even more.
OK, look, I'm afraid, gents, we've got to leave it there because we're out of time. But Gareth Wyn Jones, Jack Rowlett, thanks very much indeed. Your thoughts on that? I'm afraid I'm not with... I'm from farming stock. I'm with Gareth.